Well, for more on that, we can go now to Istanbul. We're joined by economist Dr. Bilal Bajis. Thank you very much for being with us. And if we could, first of all, look at the economic backdrop in Turkey, the situation is quite severe, isn't it? We've got 70% inflation this year. Life is just very costly for everyone living in Turkey, whether they were born there or not.
Well, thank you, Laura. Well, definitely we have a relatively high inflation in Turkey, but we are, in the meantime, optimistic that they will hopefully go down in the next few months.
So would you say that this is driving a rise in anti-Syrian sentiment?
Well, partly, yes, definitely. There are a lot of factors, and inflation is definitely one of the factors that we should count in.
And how will this new law work exactly?
Well, this is more about an existing rule being changed a bit, imposing quotas on the number of resident permits to alien in the neighborhoods, in new neighborhoods, I should say. Well, earlier, about 800 neighborhoods in 54 cities, they were already shut as foreign residents were at 25% of the population. And now this number, it will go up to 1,200. So Turkey is basically limiting residence permits to aliens to 20% of population in certain neighborhoods across the nation as of July the 1st.
It's a debate that's going on around the world about how refugees and asylum seekers contribute to the economy. Sometimes, of course, they're not allowed to contribute to the economy. Do you think they're being unfairly scapegoated?
Well, I would say the Syrian immigrants, or in general refugees and or immigrants, they are contributing a lot. They are contributing a lot to the Turkish economy. So human capital is certainly one critical contribution, and there are other factors as well, such as huge demand for housing. It's a source of foreign exchange revenue for the Turkish economy, and I'm personally not against it. It's a supplementary source of foreign exchange reserve to the tourism, export, and borrowing. So there is overall a relatively huge demand due to the young population in Turkey, the external demand and migration waves, the recent migration waves. And there is, in the meantime, a weak, insufficient supply and increasing housing prices, rental prices. And overall, Turkey is dealing with an unprecedented surge in housing and rental prices lately. According to private realtor companies, research centers, the Turkish Central Bank, Turkish Statistical Institute data, we see that house prices in Turkey, they are up by between 200 and 300%, especially in Istanbul. And a few months ago, these figures, they were about 100 or 150% in different regions in Turkey. So housing and real estate are one of the critical sectors in the Turkish economy. There is a positive impact and also the negative impact through the price increases. Housing sector is a good employment option for low-skilled employees in Turkey, including the immigrant and refugees. And these growing number of immigrant and refugees, they contribute to the domestic demand and add up to inflation figures, mostly through the housing and food prices, but most importantly over the expectations, which is one of the critical factors contributing to the high inflation figures in Turkey. But broadly speaking, Turkish inflation, I would say, is more due to supply shocks. It's cost-related issues. Such as the external factors such as energy prices, broken supply chains, food prices, as well as the exchange rate movements, which for the most part has less to do with migrants and refugees. So this huge demand and house prices, it is part of the measures to deal with the high inflation figures in Turkey. And this new rule change or the law, it is part of the measures to deal with this inflation, I would say, and house prices.
Dr. Bajis, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.